Hey guys, it's Jenny Silver, and today I have an important update for you. A bill was just proposed in the Senate that would affect the $600 federal boost continuation. It's a brand new bill. It is different from the HEROES Act, but it has been proposed in the Senate. Now, before I go any further, please click like, please click subscribe, please drop me a quick comment down below. I really appreciate it. Okay, so we have a brand new bill proposed in the Senate. Our $600 boost to our unemployment benefits that was created in the CARES Act is set to expire on July 25th. That's coming up really fast. Now, we have currently passed in the House the HEROES Act. Passed in the House, it's been moved on to the Senate, and it has been sitting there. We're kind of waiting to see what happens with it, if it's going to be modified, if something new is coming about, but a new bill was just proposed in the Senate. Something originating in the Senate is what we want to see, because they have been the slowest to approve this additional stimulus for unemployment. Now, the new bill is the American Workforce Rescue Act. This bill is proposed by Charles Schumer, and it has a few different pieces to it. Personally, I would like to see this one passed as opposed to the HEROES Act, because I think that it's even better. Now, what it states is that in order for the additional $600 benefit to continue to be applied to unemployment, as long as a state's unemployment rate is 11% or higher, that additional $600 boost will continue. Now, there is no end date to this continuation. With the HEROES Act, there is an end date of July 31st. With the Workforce, what the heck is it called? With the American Workforce Rescue Act, there is no end date. The end date is determined by the state's unemployment rate. Now, if we have an 11% rate or higher, that additional $600 boost continues. If we drop below that 11% rate, the boost amount drops as well. And it drops according to a tiered system. So every 1% that the unemployment rate drops below 11%, the boost of those additional federal funds added onto your unemployment payment will also drop by $100. So if we drop down from 11% to 10%, our payment will go from $600 down to $500, and it continues dropping down until we get to zero. Now, in order for it to drop down a tier, we must have an unemployment rate decrease and for it to stay there for 13 weeks or more. So if it drops down a tier, we would get that tier for those 13 weeks. The month of May, California had a 16.3% unemployment rate. The month of April was 16.4%. So from April to May, we had a 0.1% decrease. So the unemployment rate has dropped from April to May. However, it was 0.1%. 16.3% compared to 11%, which is where we start seeing it taper off. But we still get the benefit as long as it is 11% or higher. If it's below 11%, we get that tapered off benefit. So that's all good news. Now, the other thing that this bill proposes is the PUA extension. For those who have exhausted their unemployment benefits, their claims have ended, they were able to receive, and some are still receiving, an extension moving forward of those additional 13 weeks. Now, this bill also proposes extending that PUA extension. They would extend it until either March 27th, 2021, or until the unemployment rate drops down to 5.5% or lower, whichever comes later. Now, in addition to that, PUA claims will be extended as well. PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, has been granted for 39 weeks. Now, under this bill, it is proposed that PUA is extended along the same guidelines as the PUC extensions, meaning that PUA claims would be extended on until March 27th or until we reach that 5.5% unemployment rate, whichever is later. So I am going to now pull up the bill summary, and I'm going to show you some of these pieces of information here in writing. Okay, you guys, so this is the summary of the bill that was just proposed in the Senate, the American Workforce Rescue Act. Now, this continues that FPUC benefit, that additional, we've been receiving an additional $600 boost. It continues it. However, it puts it on a tier system. So depending on the state's unemployment rate, that $600 goes down according to the unemployment rate and how it lowers as well. So it directly correlates to that. Now, it stays at each tier for 13 weeks. So if it falls from, let's say it falls down to 10%, we would receive right here $500 until it falls below that rate for 13 weeks. So it continues on in that tier system. Now, scrolling down, we see the PEUC program here is extended until the later date of March 27th, 2021, or the date when the state's unemployment rate falls below 5.5%. And then here's the tiered system for that as well. The next piece of this is that Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, PUA, is extended until the later of March 27th, 2021, or the date when the state's unemployment rate falls below 5.5%. So it's the later of the two of those, okay? Next, the number of weeks of PUA available. Currently, we have 39 weeks available, but the number of weeks available would be extended by the number of weeks of PEUC and extended benefits available. So it's basically going to go along those same lines as long as PEUC is being extended, PUA will be extended, and they will be administered in the same way as PEUC. All right, and the last piece of this here, the following programs will remain in effect until the later of either March 27th or when the state's unemployment rate falls below 5.5%. And then those programs are listed here. Okay, you guys, so let me know in the comments what you think. We still have the HEROES Act on the table. We still have the additional boost for returning to work on the table. And now we have this American Workforce Repair Act on the table. All of these still have to go through House, Senate, and be signed into law. So none of them have been passed yet, so don't misinterpret this video. These are bills that are yet to turn to laws. But we have a couple different things on the table, so it's good to see some action taking place this week. Please give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I will talk to you next time.